This miniature was primed with an airbrush using Vallejo's Gloss Black. I then hit it with Liquitex white ink as a zenithal spray. Like the previous sets of spiders I painted on this channel, see the link in the description, I hit it with some general highlights of white. However, unlike in the last video, I aim to make these highlights smoother and do not apply these in short, thin hatching lines, as I'm trying to give less of a hairy appearance with this set of creepy crawlies. This highlight I apply over about 40 to 50% of the body, particularly the upraised areas. I also apply these highlights to the web-entombed juice boxes, people, lying on the ground. I then come back again with the same white and do a second application to brighten up the most upraised areas, paying most of my attention to the center of the back and body, as well as the joints of the legs. On the previous spiders, I used heavy body acrylics as I wanted to give them as much texture as possible to provide more of a sense of hairiness, but since I'm aiming for a smoother spider this time, I stick to the acrylic gouache. Leaning heavily on speed paints again, I hit parts of the body and legs with a cultist cloak. I'm using real images of black house spiders that we have here in Georgia to pattern these miniatures after. And like their name may suggest, I always thought they were solid black, or at least mostly black with some varying shades of gray, but no. These things have some brown in them, and even some red, that you can't readily see from a distance. But with the aid of high-definition photos capable of some crazy zoom, we see that the vibrant colors they are hiding. And it makes me wonder what else these little sons of bitches have been hiding from me. Keeping with this natural color scheme, I add some red bands below the first leg knuckle end. And did I just stumble into a Tim Burton movie? While I'm partial to much of Tim Burton's work, this was definitely not the look I was going for, so I opt to let the grim black speed paint I intended to finish the unpainted portions also cover the red to tone it down a good deal. I go ahead and finish off my use of speed paints by hitting the webbing with ashen stone, the exposed humanoid arm with peachy flesh, the sword blade with broadsword silver, and the sword hilt and counterweight with Talos bronze. From here, I speed my way through the rest of the work, albeit with no further actual speed paints, and finish the humanoid arm with a simple highlight of peach and a shadow with peach mixed with raw sienna. A time-consuming highlight on the juice boxes were made with titanium white, and the same white I had done the grisaille style underpainting with before I opened the first speed paint bottle on this project. I then finish off the sword with the highlight of true copper for the hilt and counterweight, and shining silver for the blade. I then tackle the base, which was already mostly there from the initial airbrushing at the start, and I merely slap it with some dark tone wash before two highlights of increasingly brighter grays made with a dry brush. I then black out the base rim, and then I call it a night. This is what I ended with. I'm enjoying the painting right now, though I'm using minimalistic techniques on these last two batches of spider, and it's kept me painting during a busy time. The next two spider projects I'll be using different manners or techniques, and hopefully if I have time I'll try to squeeze in a couple more before this month is over. I do like how these came out for the limited effort I put into them, and they definitely fit in better on the cave floor basing compared to the last set of spiders that I painted. For lessons learned, even when working from real-world sources, it's important to know what's real and what looks good aren't always going to line up. The real black house spiders we have here in Georgia have surprisingly vibrant reds on them, but on a miniature that you can plainly see, it makes it look more cartoonish than menacing. And that'll bring this video to its end. I hope you learned something or were inspired to start or expand your own collection of monstrous entities. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and if you like the content of this video and would like to see more, you can easily support me by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I'm Jim with Working with Miniatures. I'm truly grateful for your time, and I bid you a fond farewell. Until the next video.